You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On tonight's show, part 3 of Matt Woods, Feed the Dog, and Pert Near Sandstone. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching the White Wall Sessions. We are now accepting submissions for Season 8. To apply, visit whitewallsessions.com/appear. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, Ben's Brewing Company, Screenflare, J. Rick Music, The Pink Moon Room, Minuteman Press, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Matt Woods, an Iowa native and blues aficionado, blew the audience away with exceptional guitar playing and unforgettable songs. Trekking from Boone, Iowa, Matt swung by the studio and delivered a stellar set. As a solo act, Matt can be found touring throughout the region, showcasing his talents to audiences of all ages.
All the way to China with a nose like an axe handle, son. And I wish it'd stay for forever. I could get a few more things done on this rock road. This rock road. Where the corn stood 8 foot tall by the 1st of August one year. Don't stop raining soon. They won't get him anywhere near this rock road. This rock road. I can see as far as the eagle when I look out my back door. Those dark clouds coming out of the west, man, don't scare me no more. Don't scare me no more on this rock road. This rock road. That sky goes on forever, even after the trails run cold. When my boy grows up, I hope he stays close to home. I hope he stays close to home in this rock road. This rock road. guys. Thank you.
I would hope that things fit together kind of well. I mean, I'm my own worst critic for sure, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. But I hope they fit together okay. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm just a guitar player that sings songs occasionally. So
Sure. I was thinking you did at least one, or you did one instrumental tonight. Do you have more instrumentals?
Yeah, I have more. That's my favorite kind of song.
And that's kind of what I was getting at. Do you? Is the instrumental, do you say, well, no, the guitar is all it needs on this, or do you feel that it needs words, or is it just they all take on individual personality?
Yeah, sometimes I have parts, guitar parts that don't have lyrics, and I think, well, that kind of works on its own, and if I come up with a couple different parts and I've got an instrumental, I got a whole song. It's definitely a lot easier for me to write guitar parts than, I mean, I've got stacks and stacks of those in my brain, right? But lyrics are the hard part for me. So some stuff, if I can't really come up with anything lyrically, if it kind of has all the necessary parts to be an instrumental song, I'll just, do an instrumental song.
So you'd mentioned Jay Jeffrey, lyrics and notebooks and that. When you just said, guitar parts and licks and little riffs, where do you store those? Are those in your head, or are they recorded? How does that work?
I've never written anything down.
Really?
Words or music. So that's what I always say. I've forgotten a lot more good songs than I've ever recorded. Right. So, I kind of am in a situation where if I get an idea, whether it be, musically or lyrically or whatever, I just hammer it. And that's the way I've learned, is I just play it a million times until I remember it. And hopefully it sticks around long enough to get it recorded. My recording process is, like I said, when I have enough songs for an album, I go into the studio, and if I'm just doing it by myself, like my last 2 records have just been solo vocals and guitar, I do it all live, just like we did here. I record an entire album in about 2 hours. I just run through, play a couple takes of each song, and that's that. I don't, like I said, pragmatic to a fault. Maybe it doesn't come out as a great product, but especially for the style, I think it's kind of important to I just try to be myself, and I don't try to mess with it too much, and if it comes out and people like it, that's great. But if they don't, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Like, that's, some fancy studio tricks aren't going to save me. I just put it out in the world, and that's what it is. So,
well, with the songs you play, they're sort of in the moment songs. I mean, do you practice and get it exactly perfect, or do you just kind of let the feeling that you're going through dictate how the song's going to go?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely play a lot. I practice a lot. Well, I wouldn't call it practice. I play a lot of shows, and I have a guitar in my hand any chance I get. But they're definitely different every time I play them. So I've never done anything the same way twice, and I kind of have a structure, and I have some things that I want to get out musically, but there could be variations every time it's played. And that's just part of the style, really. I mean, it's that's kind of how these things have been passed down traditionally through generations. Is just one musician playing to someone else who picks that up and makes it their own. Kind of passes it down like that. So all the stuff I love to listen to is different every time somebody plays it.
So. That's what makes it
right.
That American. Yeah. So you say you record an album in 2 hours or whatever. That's the way those songs sound on that day in that time frame. If you came back and recorded that song the next day or the next week, might they sound different? Or
they could be. I mean, I would say that the structure is probably the same, or the general outline is the same, but in terms of exactly what I'm doing on guitar or vocally, they could be a lot different. It might even be a different key. If I decided, if I didn't really like the way I sounded in a certain key, I might change the key of the song next time I do it or whatever. So
you just capture that place in time.
Yeah,
right?
That's the idea. Oh, yeah.
That's great. And it may change when you're playing live, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I got to ask, your traditional blues song where they say a line, say another line, and then kind of wrap it up, so that structure. Those seem easy to do, but are they harder than they seem because they got to be different every time? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that it can be said about any traditional form of music is like, it's kind of deceptive because they're very simple by nature. Like, these songs are very simple. The structure is very simple, but truly the devil is in the details. And that's what separates, for me, a great artist from mediocre or worse, right? Is that their attention to detail and how they execute the subtleties of this style of music. And I think that can really make or break you in that kind of thing.
Coming up after the break, Feed the Dog.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music. Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Appleton, Wisconsin's Feed the Dog electrified the crowd with their Season 7 performance.
Thank you, acoustic guitar.
Incorporating flowing rhythms, bluegrass, and rock elements, the band rocked out an astonishing session. With masterfully crafted dynamics and striking jams, this is a must-see act. The band is Tyler Shea, vocals and guitar, Eric Uvinen, drums, vocals, and didgeridoo, Tim McElroy, fiddles and vocals, and David Blessant, bass.
She's got a sickness that can't be fixed. Covers her pain with red lipstick. She can't forgive herself for what she did. Gave away her baby for one more dog food hit. His body harbors no soul to be sold. He was never young and he'll never get old. Never had a heart or any kindness to show. Abandoned for a grain of pure white snow. Big money monger, merely pig and shit. Masturbates to caviar, cars and fake tits. Me, I pick asparagus right from the ditch. And I pray that when I die it's painless and swift. in the sun.
So let's talk about recording. You've got 2 albums at least, right? Tenderloin and Sheep.
2 and 1 on the way.
And 1 on the way. Where did you record those?
We recorded Sheep in Appleton with Aaron Dusterhoft. He's an engineer at Gibson Music Hall, and I think the chief engineer of Mile Music Festival in Appleton. He's a very talented guy, and he spent a lot of time with us to allow us to record that first album. Put a lot of sweat and time into that, which is cool because we weren't prepared when we were going into our first album.
Yeah.
You know, he let us kind of extend it over a long period of time, come in a little bit here, a little bit there, and really dive into the details. And then the next album we did in San Francisco at Hyde Street Studios, and that was 10 days, boom, in and out.
Your typical recording session where you go and you got to make them use the time?
Mm-hmm.
And was there a reason you chose that studio and that place?
Yeah, my buddy Jack Kurtzman, who I went to college with, he's one of my best friends. He's the studio manager out there, and he got us a pretty good deal. And the studio's great. It has a bunch of history. Grateful Dead recorded out there. Tupac's recorded out there. I can name a ton of other artists, but you know, it's a ton of history. And just to get these guys together, you know, all of us in one spot, and that kind of experience, you know, it's.
So I realize they're different
itself.
albums in different times, but did you prefer, you know, like you described the first way versus the let's get it done in 10 days, or was there pros and cons to both?
There's definitely pros and cons to both. When you're in the studio for 10 days, it's like that's all you have to think about, you know. It's like, but I guess the con of that is sometimes you keep hearing the song over and over and over and over, and it's like it gets to a point sometimes where it's like, well, does this song need more work, or is it good how it is, you know?
Yeah.
Because the live, sometimes we would, you know, just record it as all of us playing together, and like, is that what this song should be, or should we add, you know, more percussion to it, or should we add like an electric guitar solo, or
so it doesn't have time to mature really in that space, or is it already matured by the time?
It's also a lot of times when it's in the moment, it's like that's what it sounds good.
Sure.
But and then I guess recording it through this long period of time, you can always listen back. You know, you might get sick of just hearing it back and forth so much, and then a couple weeks go by and you can listen to it again with fresh ears.
Yeah.
You're in the shower, you're like, oh yeah.
I need to add this.
Did you record the last one? It's vinyl, right? It's CD and vinyl. Did you record it specifically for vinyl, or is there a different process there, or is it just the way they master it?
It was just in the master. It was mastered for vinyl, so it wasn't mastered necessarily for CD. So that's why the vinyl is very rich. And the CD is good, but comparatively, the vinyl is just blows it out of the water.
Yeah. So there is a science, obviously, between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And mastering for that vinyl, I mean, there's different ranges to put in there. That's interesting. Are you selling vinyl at your shows more than CDs, or is it easier to stick a CD in someone's pocket and go home?
CDs sell. It's the number one thing we sell, at least here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
We sling CDs out the door. It's our bread and butter.
Good. That's good. You made a music video recently. Is that the first one you've made, or have you done others?
Are you talking about Buffalo?
Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, we've done one other where it was us kind of like in the video, and that was Ballad of Burl Ives, an older version that was not on our new CD, but the same song is on there. And we did that at a roller skating rink.
Really? I don't think I've seen that one. So tell me about making a video. Do you guys come up with the concept, or do you just hand that over to someone else and say, tell me where to go?
Well, it was with the same videographer who did it. And I was just thinking if we needed a video, he said he would shoot it for us at a relatively good price. And I'm like, where can we do this? Where would be cool? And I was like, roller rink. And then he kind of went with it from there. And then he said, hey guys, I'm in town. I got a green screen with me. And Tyler was like, I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers video. Which one was it? The Zephyr song, that's right, where they're, it's all green screen, and they're doing like doubles and triples and all kinds of crazy like screensaver images.
Yeah.
And so we kind of told him to go with that kind of feel for Buffalo.
That the wind and rain did shape. I'm in your skin, I'm in your blood, I'm in the Mississippi mud. In your mind, I'm in your heart, like a girl you can't let go. In your dreams, when you sleep, I walk beside you down the road. Walk beside you down the road. When you feel pain, when you feel joy, I am always there for you to celebrate. Have a date, have a crutch to lean on to. I'll be your friend, be your end, we'll be happy. For we turn the coldest months, the August heat. We'll be honey in the hive. We'll be honey in the hive. But when the rain does pour, I'll be rapping at your door, begging you to take me back once again. And I'll burn on, and I'll burn on. I'll get you well, I'll get you any way I can. Through the good, through the bad, or through a fleeting TV ad. I am a light in the dark. All you gotta do is pull the chain. I am a lock on the door. You know you gotta bell the ring. Oh, you gotta bell the ring. But when the rain does fall, I'll be rapping at your door. Take me back once again, and I'll burn on, and I'll burn on like a violent hurricane. But when the rain does pour, I'll be rapping at your door, begging you to take me back once again. And I'll burn on, and I'll burn on like a fire in a hurricane.
Coming up after the break, Pert Near Sandstone.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music. Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Pert Near Sandstone is an American bluegrass ensemble known throughout the upper Midwest since the early 2000s. Their rich-rooted sound is propelled with high-energy performances and solos. The band braved a snowstorm and performed to a dedicated and appreciative crowd. The band is Nate Sipe, fiddle, mandolin, and vocals, Kevin Kniebel, clawhammer, banjo, and vocals, Jay Lenz, acoustic guitar and vocals, Justin Brune, upright bass and vocals, and Matt Cartier, clogs and fiddle.
Distant lands, I can't help but understand. All my life it's been that way. Now I don't expect I'll change. Raised a great northern boy, might not have any kind of choice. Always drawn down the trail. I believe that I always will. I've been trailing on this road from home. I barely know. I've been trailing for so long that this road might be my home. Stumbled, I've been in need, but rolled on like a tumbleweed, and no troubles will bring me down, will follow me when I'm leaving town. I've been lonely, I've been sad, but things have never been that bad. I've seen what good life can bring, following the way a caged bird sings. I've been trailing on this road from home. I've been trailing for so long that this road might be my home. Getting lost in reveries through the fields and dales and on backcountry trails. Meandering with rippling creeks, blowing in the singing breeze, and I can't complain. I would do it all again. I've been trailing on this road from home. I barely know. I've been trailing for so long, and this road might be my home. Yeah, this road might be my home.
Sonny Boy, Nate Sipe right there. Let's talk about the musicianship, because there's some awful good musicianship going on here. You all been playing a long time? I mean, where'd you get your clog style, Matt?
Well, I started clogging. There's a clogging group out in Minnesota. I just started with them, basically. I was playing music with a bunch of folks who were dancers in the group or musicians for their band, and one of my friends just kind of convinced me to try out as a clogger. He was like, I'll teach you some steps. I was like, no way, I don't dance. It's not my thing. I've never danced. And he was like, oh, I'll teach you some. And so he taught me some. I got into the group, and that's kind of where I started. I lived in Missouri and Arkansas for about 10 years, so the jig dancing style down there is a little different as well. So I pulled up some of their moves for some of my dancing. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
You're the skinniest guy in the band. It must be a lot of work there.
Yes, I am the skinniest guy in the band.
That's not hard to do.
So then, that clogging, does that come in? When in the song does that come in? Or is that's obviously providing the rhythm, but do you ever think about that when you're writing?
Yeah, I mean, so there's other percussionists that we've worked with who have done, like Washboard and, and a couple guys who have a pretty different style than Cartier even, but it's you definitely, you got to picture like what's going to fit the song. Does it need, more of a shuffle? Does it need a stomp to go along with it? It's something we definitely take into account when we're in the studio recording.
Or a lumberjack.
And and we used to not travel. We used to record with a clogger, but never travel with one. So it's pretty great to have one, to have Matt at our disposal to abuse on the road and get him running in place every night.
Yeah.
He's constantly running away from us but going nowhere.
With double clog boards at our First Avenue show. That was
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was wild. We've done stuff with the Wild Goose Chase cloggers too, with full group.
Like
clog.
8 people on stage clogging. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, so you've got, 7 albums now?
So,
7, 8?
is that right?
Is that how many that
That's
is?
right.
A couple live
Probably.
albums, yeah.
A couple live ones too. Yeah.
Is it hard to get the energy and the feel in the albums? I think you did. I mean, you got it there.
It is hard. It really
It is, yeah. You kind of feel like you're a little bit like, in a spaceship again, like making music that's going to, hopefully be around a long time, and you're not doing it in the environment that you're typically performing it in. So, yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I would say we're very much a live show band.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to capture in a studio, but we try to record as much of it live as we possibly can without having to track. But then you always end up having to track something, and
Yeah.
Because when you're in that booth, whoops, you're not looking over at the other players, or maybe you
Well,
are.
when we
set up a circle.
Yeah, when
Okay.
we record, the majority of the album is recorded like with us in a circle, looking at each other, like in the same room.
really
Giving cues just like we do on stage. You
Like,
know,
yeah, and
dry erase
oftentimes,
board.
yeah.
organized.
Yeah, and some like for the last couple of projects, we were kind of writing in the studio and kind of learning the songs as we're recording them, and so like then you're really looking at each other like, oh my god, this is the third take of this. Like I better not play the banjo wrong again. You're watching everybody. So it's fun. Like it is very organic and live, and you're kind of connected and like in a live setting, but maybe even in some ways more energy, in the room when you're like all together just facing each other. It's kind of
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're really feeding off each other when you can actually look.
Yeah.
Well, and it's amazing what you can do on a mixing board as well to create, our live sound is really done by working with an engineer who knows what we're trying to go for with the sound, and we've been lucky to work with our good friend Ryan Young recording us in a comfortable environment with somebody who's played with us for years, so he knows what we're going for. He knows how to sync all the dials and capture what we're shooting for.
But he also adds like auxiliary
Yep.
percussion and instruments too, which is, that kind of sets our recordings apart from our live performance, which is kind of cool. But and somebody said to me once recently on the road, it was kind of a backhanded compliment, like, yeah, your live your album's actually really good. And I was like, thank you. I think, but no, I was like, okay, that's a good positive response, saying, we always want to come out and see you live, but do we want to buy your album because it's not the live experience?
Yeah.
But it's good. We pulled it off. It's good, and like you can listen to these songs, and some of them, like some of the songs, translate easier to the live record or to the studio recording than others, and some of them, like Ryan really did fill out, like Bloom Again, for instance, is just like it's almost like orchestral on the album, you know. but we can't really replicate that on stage. But we have our own live performance of it, which is good, and that's what we work from anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They kind of complement each other, you know.
I've got the tallest personality in the band. I'm not the tallest.
If I could walk 5,000 miles and find the spring again, the birds and the bees and the flowering trees, and a chance for time to mend. No man of might, I'd head out tonight, chart a course for the sun, sit back at night beneath the moonlight and think back to when we were young. I can't find so much peace of mind. I can't stay when it's close behind. But I'll bloom again when spring never ends. Love don't die on the mind. Meadows new green and the frost had just eased. The season's promise foretold. Side by side in the morning light, we watched the petals unfold. Just a single flower in that early hour, a beauty not bought or sold, but given to you and to me to tell as we tire and we grow. I can't find so much peace of mind. I can't stay when it's close behind. But I'll bloom again when spring never ends and love don't die on the vine. I can't find so much peace of mind. I can't stay when it's close behind. But I'll bloom again when spring never ends and love don't die on the vine. Yes, I'll bloom again when spring never ends and love don't die on the vine.
Thank you so much.
White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is Dave Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Carl Koiser, Kevin Phipps, and Dave Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us next week, same time, same station.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.